Okay, hi everyone, this is Bowen here. So if you can see me right now, can you just type in BW? Okay, if you can see me and hear me, can you just type in BW? Right, and of course, if you're from Singapore, okay, can you give me a thumbs up? If you're from Malaysia, give us a heart. And if you're from other parts of the country, you can just hit any of the emotions button. Great, Amanda. Yes, great. You can hear me and see me. Fantastic. Paley as well. Wonderful. Hello, Iris, Irene. Wow, very good. Good to see all of you. Right, we will be starting very soon, and today we have a special guest for our market watch. So make sure that you actually tune in all the way because this special guest is going to share very valuable insights. Yes, hi, Esmond and Liang Xia, Alvin. Hello, Jeffrey. Albert, Ivan, wow, all the way from Australia. Hello. Fantastic, right? So for those of you who just come in, okay, we will be starting very soon. And today, okay, the topic that we're going to talk about is whether the Singapore market, is it dead or not? Okay, so we're going to look at a little bit about Singapore market. Okay, but for those of you who are overseas, don't worry because I will still be going through the short-term market outlook, and I will also still be going through some of the opportunities for this upcoming week. And I know that last week, okay, many of you have actually shared with me that you actually make quite a decent profit, all right, from the trade that I actually did. So if you actually make money from the trade that we actually shared last week, can you just type in 888? What? If you have made money from the trade that I shared, okay, can you just type in 888? Let me see how many of you make money so far. Okay, very important. Okay, if let's say you make money, okay, feel free to just drop me a message and just let me know so that I will be more motivated to continue to do this and continue to give more value to all of you. If there's no response, then I don't know whether how is the market doing. I mean, for my side, I've also investing, so I also benefited a lot. So I also want to make sure that you're also what together. Yes, great. Chu Xiang 888. Yvonne as well, 888. Only 2%. What about the rest? Those who benefited and make money from our trade last week, can you type in 888? Let me see how many of you actually make money. Yes. Wonderful, Jackson. Good to see you. Any more benefit? Right. Okay, so we are about 44 of you watching. Fantastic. Okay, so do help us to like and share, okay, so that we can actually reach out to even more people. Okay, let's make this market watch Singapore best top investment market watch. Okay, in fact, there's only one market watch in Singapore, so this is already the Singapore top market watch. Let's have the top market watch with the most viewer every single week. All right, so it's going to be a lot more exciting when we have 500, 1,000 people watching this. Then more people can give me insights. Then I can give you more opportunities as well. Fantastic, right? So allow me to share with all of you the topic for today. Like I said today, very exciting. Why do I say that? It's because today we are going to talk about the Singapore market. Okay, and that's not all. I'm also going to talk about whether it's the Singapore market dead or not. I think this is very important. So I have invited a very special guest, which later on I will bring him up. Okay, so this special guest is going to share with us his view on the Singapore market and whether does he think there's any opportunities in the Singapore market or not. For those of you who are invested in the Singapore market, okay, make sure that you actually tune in. Okay, we are going to invite this special guest really soon, right? So before we invite the special guest up, okay, I will, like I said, go through the key sharing for today. Like I said, the first topic is going to be shared by the guest speaker, and following the guest speaker, I will still be going through the short-term market direction as well as some of the opportunities in the market, and we're going to end off as usual with the Q&A. And this time round, okay, I'm not the only one that's going to be here to answer the quick Q&A. I also hope our guest speaker will be here to answer the Q&A as well. All right, so if you have any question, okay, y'all can actually ask him as well. All right, since he's here, we need to make full use of it. All right, and before I forget, okay, very importantly, okay, there's disclaimer lah. So usually I am the only one that is giving you guys opportunities, okay, but this time round, okay, I think inclusive of our guest speaker, disclaimer lah, whatever we share is based on our own personal advice, and if you like what we share, if you feel that the company has got any potential, do your own due diligence. If you invest, then go ahead and do it lah. Right, just be aware that the money is yours lah. So make sure that you actually treat it wisely. Okay, invest wisely. So if you are ready, okay, to hear from our guest speaker, can you all type in JY? So if I see enough JY, I will actually invite our guest speaker up. Okay, type in JY, okay, so that I can actually invite our guest speaker up to the stage. Let's just wait for a while because the comment from Facebook is going to take a little bit of time. Fantastic. Amanda. Only one. Can we have more JY? More JY. Let me see more JY. Kelly. Yes, fantastic. Irene. Wow. Eileen, Oswin, Yvonne, Jamie, Paley. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so without further ado, let me bring out our guest speaker. And he is none other than Jackson. Hello, Jackson.
Hi, everyone.
Right, let me just do a quick introduction. So Jackson is actually one of our students from UI and one of a very hardworking students, I would definitely say. Okay, and very, very active as well. And I believe that for those of you who have been watching Market Watch, definitely you would have heard of Jackson because he is, constantly following us on Market Watch. And, every time before I share any opportunity, he will already say, I enter already. So he actually, is very, very good at spotting opportunities as well. Right, but of course today, I'm not inviting him to share about the US market. Of course, you can ask him later also. But today, he's going to share about the Singapore market because he has got some really, really good insights, with regards to the Singapore market. And also he has a Singapore stock that he wants to actually share with you. Right, so without further ado, without taking much time, I'm going to pass it over to Jackson to do the introduction. So Jackson, over to you.
Hi, good evening, every market watcher and UI communities. Welcome. Okay. First, before that, I think we have been in COVID-19 for about almost 1.5 years to 2 years. So, anyone familiar with the scene shown in these pictures? If you are familiar with 111, no 111. Okay, all right. Okay, basically, right, what you can see, right, is because of COVID-19. So we will see all these scene, right, like especially this temperature checking, swab test, very familiar. So for this company that I share, right, give you some brief introductions. When the COVID-19 started, right, it actually impacted very heavily. They lost about more than 30 to 40% of their revenue. However, right, it recovered very fast. We call it fast. I will call it supersonic. Then it turned into like a 40 to 30% jump on the next year, that according to a recent quarterly announcement, and that it became one of my biggest gain so far for this year. So without further ado, let me see. Okay, anyone familiar with these two gentlemen? If yes, can you just type in 222? Okay. By the way, these photos was taken at year 2019. Okay, so that's why all of us do not have masks. So don't go and report to MOH say that we are doing that. And the reason why I like this company because it's in Singapore. Oh, a good thing about Singapore market, right? The reason why I like it is because Singapore is so small, right? Wherever they held their AGM, right, I will definitely can go there. I definitely can speak with the CEO, the chairperson, or even the independent directors to hear what are their views on the company's futures. these are benefit of the Singapore, and especially only special for Singapore markets. If you invested in Malaysia market, if you invest in USA market, it's very difficult. Yeah, Jeffrey, you're right. This is Raffles Medical. You are absolutely right. But let me share why I actually invested heavily in Singapore market. Okay, so the thing is, right, because Singapore market, right, whatever AGMs, right, they held, right, definitely will be in Singapore. Except one of the company, right, is very strange. They actually have an AGM in Britain, so I can't fly there. But that company is very solid, so I'm not going to touch about it. But this company, right, Singapore market is Singapore stock is I can go there. I can speak with the chairperson. Later, I'm going to share some insider. You will never find it in anywhere in the website because it's purely my findings and what I hear and what I feel. Okay, let me further do. Yes, that's right. All these three photos you will be familiar very soon because this one is actually in Bugis. You can just go, for those who are in Singapore, you can go to the Bugis station out there, then you will see this Raffles Hospital. Myself physically have entered this Raffles Hospital new built one under the dispensation here because I do feel these buildings, right, I do feel there are some bricks, right, or some pillars, actually my money invested inside there. So do feel the same as me if you invested in a certain company, because you are not invested in the stock, but also in the company business and also their physical properties. Okay, these are the old buildings which I'm going to share later. This is the new building that the hospital they built in Chongqing. Remember the name? Chongqing is a city in China, and this is Shanghai. This going, I think they already finished completion of the physical building. They are going to open very soon. Yes. What are the expectations for today? Is actually what are the business, and before I dip into further about Raffles, I have a disclaimer. I'm heavily invested, so my view could be biased. So do your own due diligence check, right? I'm going to do some competitors comparison and what are the modes and also the financial analysis, the numbers of this Raffles Medical. And upcoming these two is the AGM. I think that there are two AGM, the last two AGMs, right, physically, and hear what they say, and then what are my findings. And the last one I cover with what COVID-19, what are the company responses, and followed by some chart. Okay. Very quick understanding. Raffles actually started from two clinics. Okay, these are the two founders. One of them you know is very familiar, Dr. Lu. But another one, right, is not so familiar. It's actually Dr. Alfred Low. Okay, Alfred Low. Two of them is actually founder. That's why the picture that I just now, the two gentlemen, so I'm very I would say very excited when I saw both of them in the same AGM. Okay, so they are renamed it in 1980s. In 1997, actually they listed. They are doing their first IPO. The reason of this first IPO is because they need money to build hospital. And interestingly, this hospital actually turned into profit, right, for them within 1.5 years to 2 years. So remember that 2 years, they turned the hospital from loss to profit. Okay, right now, right, they have about 2,500 staff. They are serving 2 million patients, and take note, 7,000 corporate clients. So I would say their customers are not individual you and me that visited their clinics, but also their corporate clients, and their employees. Okay, these are their modes. Okay, so what are they involved? Okay, in Raffles Medical, this is the basic needs, which I'm going to share what are the what these tools, right, are very key important pieces for them. Medical, which is all their clinics across Asia, those big cities, China, in China like Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing, Hong Kong, in Bangkok, Vietnam, all over the place, Indonesia, Jakarta, all of these big cities have their clinics. Me, myself, have personally visited one of their clinics in Shanghai. Okay, I like the feeling physically, how the business that invested, right, how it feel, what they give me. So it's called in the investor term, we call it scuba diving, scuba dive, I think, something like that. Okay, hospitals, currently there are 3 hospitals. The last one is Shanghai. They are going to build. However, right, recently I realized that I actually have Beijing. Okay, but I have not much info about this because it was only been mentioned recently only. They also involved in dental, Chinese medicine, insurance. This is interesting one. Later I'm going to share more. Healthcare, this is for training, and they are selling some drugs under their own brand name. For those who are more interested to know how Raffles Medical Hospital, right, actually being how the employee feel about the company itself, right? You can go to this Mothership SG video. You just type, this is the link. I'm not sure whether you can see. This is how the employees feel about their companies itself. Very interesting. That you will feel something differently from others companies employee, how they feel. And last but not least, this is actually is a special mode. For Raffles Medical, unlike like those Gleneagles, KPJs, and Pantai, right? Those hospitals, right? They what Raffles Medical do, right, is they operate like a public hospital way. It's like a group of medical officer, which is doctors. Then they will consult by the senior doctors and even the higher doctors. You can choose your doctor as well, but each individual doctor that you see, right, will not only individually only handle you, but all your histories and the information, right, will be shared among this doctor and give you the best medical practice or medical consultation. So this is very good, and especially for doctors, that you will not easily burn out, because any doctors that really like they work as a team, any doctor that burn out or can't solve any issues, right, they will pass to the senior consultant. They will not fight individual. Unlikely though, those are like Pantai, those are KPJ, right, where I visited one of them, right. They are actually one small little specialist clinics. You visit them, they're like, oh, I'm Dr. Yang. So you look at Dr. Yang. Any about Dr. Like if Dr. Yang is like a cardio, then you look about cardio only. But if you have any others, right, they have to the Dr. Yang have to refer you to someone else. However, right, whether it's really a need or not, there's no way you know. Okay. However, in Raffles Medical, there's not such a case, because they have a whole team looking at you as well. Okay. So let us look at who are their competitors. I'm actually using let me introduce a new things. We call it Morningstar. I think everyone know Morningstar, right? In Morningstar, right, it's actually you can do a stock analysis and you click a competitors, and I'm not sure whether I want, yeah. Then you will pop up all those companies, right, related to this. Realize that, right, when you do a US stock, right, you will hardly see any hospital companies, because, right, in US, right, even you know the company itself, but do you dare to invest? For me, I will not, because I even do not know how good is a hospital. It could be a very poorly rated hospital. But in Singapore, even in Asia, you have heard of it. You have some page, you have some friends, you have some colleagues that have visited this hospital. That's why you know it. Like, especially this is very unique, because this is the only thing that you prefer to invest in Asia or even in Singapore itself rather than the overseas. Okay, so Raffles Medical, they are actually competing with Thomson, Healthway, and KPJ. And here there's one more that's missing. Actually, it's one of the biggest healthcare company in, I think in Asia. Most likely it will be in the world. It's called Healthcare Berhad. Okay, it's actually a Malaysia company, which I'm going to share later. Let me go back to my slide. Okay, so these are comparison. So what I want to all these companies competitors, right? Actually, I have very focus on this column. You can see, right, most of them actually very high PE rating. We don't like high PE because high PE means overvalue. However, right, for healthcare it's different story, because they are looking at 20 to 30 years of investment. So high PE is quite reasonable, and especially because they are very resilient. However, right, this COVID-19 proven that some of them actually very badly hit, especially like for example Raffles. Okay, so if you look at the PE ratio itself, right, you look at the two lowest actually is Raffles and this Healthway. Okay, for the rest, right, I'm actually not so much concerned about other than the PE. But when you dig into further, right, it's okay, quite good. Raffles is actually if I look at the debt into equity ratio, right, actually most of them is actually heavily I would say half of them is heavily debt, except Raffles and Healthway. But there's a reason why Healthway is so low. Later I will share more. Okay, so you see that overall, right, it's 20, 50, 40 PE is normal. Okay, so I will say right now, if you compare with their peers, right, actually Raffles is fairly or undervalued. Okay, so who like undervalued stock? Can you type me 333? Anyone still there? I hope you are not lost yet. Who like undervalued stock? If yes, please type 333. Oh, Lai. Oh, Paley. Oh, Yvonne Lai. Okay, good, nice. Okay, so let me continue. Good, great. You guys still here. So for their competitors, right? What I like to look is how about their revenues. Okay, and of course their profit margin. You can see, right? This is the Raffles Medical. Their gross profit is standing at 76, 15.9 for the net margin. It's quite not bad. It's about 16% of the net profit margin. Very profitable. How about others? Oh, like KPJ. This is a Malaysia Healthcare. They are doing like 10.5 net margin. Gross profit margin not so much. As I said, because they are like the KPJ is actually special. It's like they are setting up the hospital only. However, like the special itself is actually individual business partner. It's different. Okay, IHH, this is the biggest healthcare in Asia, I'm sure. Only earning about 10%. They have I think about 100 hospitals across Asia, including Abu Dhabi and Dubai. All right, their gross margin is 70%. So it's like, yeah, Raffles Medical actually do better than IHH Healthcare in terms of net margin. Okay, let's take a look. For Thomson, it's a bit strange. I do not know why they don't have audited for 2019. But however, it doesn't affect how I justify. I mean, how I dig in further. For Healthcare, right, you can see, right, yes, their margin is good, 80, and net margin is 10. However, right, look at their revenue. Well, flatted, not so much. Raffles, increasing. If you can see, right, this is 500, right, compared with what they have in 10 years ago. It's actually double of their revenue. So sounds like very convincing, right? This is some company that we like. It's a buy, right? Yeah, that's right. It's a buy. Okay, so let me go further. This is the for hospital, right? Because it's a heavily invested business. Before you even set up a hospital, you need to put in a lot of money to get a hospital being built up, to put in all the equipments, and as well as train people, doctors, nurses, staff. All this, right? You need money invested before you can get your profit. You can get your returns. So, right, ROIC, ROE is actually the most important thing that I will look at. Look at all this, right? ROE, IH, wow, 0.82%, very low. KBJ, much better, 5.6. Raffles, you see, 7.5, 6. Thomson, I don't have because I do not know why they are not audited. Healthway is 1. So from here, I just want to mention that the low debt to equity ratio is Raffles and Healthway. Their PE is also low. However, if you compare like this, right, which one do you like? Raffles or Healthway? If you like Raffles, type R. If you like Healthway, type H. Okay, give some time. Yes, okay, I saw it. Yes, everyone like R, right? Return equity. And in fact, this return equity, I can show you something that you will not see anywhere else because this was mentioned in the AGM by the chairman itself. So let us go into deeper how this revenue being generated. Actually, in Raffles, right, there are two different big chunk of business that they're separating. One is hospital services, and another one is healthcare services. So note that hospital means all the profit or revenue generated by hospital, that they will go to this. 50% of them is actually in hospital, 45% of in healthcare. But however, right, if that's the case, right, investor might ask, chairman might ask, why don't we just fully invest into hospital but not into healthcare? That is something that's unique from Raffles, because Raffles, right, when the first people approach them is through clinic. You will usually don't go to hospital directly. Oh, I want treatment. Usually you approach some clinics, right? Then they will Mr. Yang, oh, you need some further investigation. Sure, how about I introduce you to the hospital? That's where they get all their leads or their customers from the hospital. These are tactics. And second, right, clinics, you really help them a lot, especially this COVID-19, which I'm going to share more later. These clinics, right, it's act as a door into their hospital business, which the clinics actually they don't earn much. It's about 10% of their profit. However, right, hospital is that when they give more services, these services, their gross profit margin, the net profit margin is about 30%, double of what they are doing the clinic. That's what makes it special. Okay, so let's go deep further. Okay, so other than the unique of their group model, how they structure between their clinics and their hospital, right? The one of things right that you will never almost haven't not many investor or not many analysts have covered that, is that they are very unique board members. Look at this. You see, right? How much? How is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? 11 of their board members, right? Actually, more than half of them is actually it's independent. I mean, they don't independent directors mean they don't involve in any of their business. And these directors, right, actually very interesting. If you dig it further, right, they're actually from all different big corporates in Singapore, and some of them actually have extend to China. Okay, they have a very strong influencing, especially like for example CapitaLand Limited. It's actually very heavily invested in China. That's one of the AGM that I attended, right? The shareholder actually asked one of the independent director asked. I remember I'm not sure whether it's Kopoto or Kitekong, because these directors are actually is the very top management in CapitaLand, and CapitaLand invested in heavily in China. When Raffles like first time venture into China, actually one of the shareholders asked the independent director, what do you think about China market for hospital? And these directors really can tell his opinions on that. And I can't remember what the director mentioned, but it gives me a strong feeling that this corporate right will stick together with Raffles, because well, your guys are here. Network is your strength. Okay. So what are the risks? First, I will say that key person risk. Until Dr. Lu, right, this is the executive chairman, right? He's holding 50%, more than 50% share in the Raffles Medical. So right, if he being moved out, right, okay, or he stepped down, right, that Raffles might shake. Okay. However, right, his daughter's already into the board of directors. So let's see. Second, the competition from the local and international healthcare group. Just like I mentioned that there are so many healthcare group in Asia, which with one of the AGM actually he did mention and how he mitigate the risk. And last one, there's need a huge capital spending, right, for the hospital. However, right, you will see as a risk. I will also see as a moat, because right, because you need a huge capital spending in terms of doctors, nurses, and equipment as well as buildings, right? It's also deter more competitors coming in. Not many people have all these trees, stuff right on their head, and they are well equipped with. So I will say this both risk and their moat itself. Okay, so that now I'm going to touch on something interesting that you'll never see it. Okay, so when I attended the AGM 2018 AGM, right, if I mention a few key points. First, right, is actually right why they sell of Raffles Hospital Chongqing. They actually want to serve not only local market, but it's also mid-Asia. Very interesting, right? Why? If you look at the market, Chongqing is actually in the middle of Asia, and it's eastern of China. If I am the patient, I'm a very rich patient in the Middle Asia. Do I want to fly all over to USA and do the surgery, do a consult? Obviously no, and especially for visa related, I will not. I'm not even go to Europe, but China, yes, of course. Especially now, one belt, one road, right? Initiative. More people were willing to go to China. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, right? If this is one or few years starting a few years, right? They are burning a lot of money to build their hospital. The chairman have already a plan. He strictly tell us how much they are going to lose for the first year and second year, which I'm going to touch on later next year. And they are telling us break even in 3 years. Their record, right, for their first Raffles hospital in Singapore, right, they broke even in 1.5 years, less than 2 years. So let's see how it goes. Okay, and just like I mentioned about return of equity, right, 19.3% if they are take out from the China investment. How they do that? They must have some way. Very interesting. Just like I mentioned that the business is getting weaker, right, for especially in Singapore market, because of their competition of in the region, in Bangkok, KL, Penang. They have a lot of private hospital that actually drag their patients. But how they mitigate that? They actually work with government, MOH. MOH actually sending some of their patients, right, to Raffles Hospital with public hospital rate. who will pay for their differences? MOH will pay for that, because right, instead of overloading those general hospital, public hospital in Singapore, right, government don't mind to pay extra money. At the end of the day, the patient is being get treated. Okay, so after this general meeting, right, I just have one word coming. There will be more bumpy share in terms of share price for upcoming 1 and 2 years. So take note, this is 2018 April. Later I'm going to share what I feel after this AGM, and I share one of the shareholder, which considering he is my friend. Okay, so bumpy 2 years, 1 or 2 years. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, in 2019, I attend the AGM. This is the last AGM before the COVID hit. Okay, so a few points that interesting, right? Dr. Lu already mentioned how much you going to lose. First year 8 million, second year 4 million, third year break even. Imagine if your chairman can give you a numbers of how much they will lose, right? He must have did some math very clearly. He know how the business work. This is some chairman I like it, because this chairman is not only the biggest shareholder, but also know the math and know the business, how it turn profit. Nice one. You will hardly find this good company nowadays in Singapore market, because many of the founders, like for these companies, right, they are either left or being already passed away. Okay. The second one, what I like is their losses is very comfortable, mitigate by their local Singapore business, and they are giving. This is something dividend investor want. They are going to give more dividend for Raffles Medical shareholder. In the latest quarterly, if I'm not wrong, they are target to give about 60% of their earnings, right, to the dividend to the shareholders, which is very nice. Which because right, with good dividend, right, it will support their share price. It will not crash. Very good one. And there are some okay, here I mentioned that in the meeting they have actually mentioned that loss of the foreign patients. I think I'm going to speed up already. Okay, loss of foreign patients. This is a local competition. How they mitigate? They did. Okay, work with the local, work with the government. Okay, and they are started with insurance. This is interesting for those who in Singapore, right, you know about buying insurance, right? They come up with a very innovative plan. You can just pay your insurance price, right? But you can opt for enjoy Raffles Medical Hospital private treatment. I trust this might be a game changer, especially when the insurance premium in Singapore are getting higher and higher. Even myself, when I read it, I say, wow, why not I change to Raffles Insurance? Okay, because I want to pay the lowest price but get the highest treatment. Sounds good, right? And last one, this is very interesting. You can feel how the chairman thinks, right? He will. There's one shareholder actually in 2019, right? Ask the chairman, why you don't invest in India rather than China? India is booming and it's cheaper. The chairman said no. Why? Because China people are willing to pay more for quality healthcare than the India. Let us see whether it turned out to be true or not. But to me, I truly believe, because I feel China relative and China friends, right? They want the better healthcare. Even you can see, right, COVID-19, it's proven that imagine when the COVID outbreak have been started in Wuhan, right? A lot of Wuhan people actually run all the way to Shanghai just to get treatment, because Wuhan hospital can't afford it. They don't mind to pay a high price in Shanghai, even in Chongqing as well. You can read, you can go and dig out the news. I have seen that before. So this is the fact. Okay, in this region also people will go for that. They will come to Singapore to treatment for the same reason. Okay. So the next one I'm going to share. Oops, sorry. Not only that, they're also doing a lot of local business. You see, this Chongqing hospital actually they work with Yipao. Yipao is some kind of like a medical shield, social medical plan in China that China government initiated. Okay, this is something that's interesting, because not many private hospital, right, in China, right, they're willing to take this, because you have to give and take. Okay, they have to strike a very good deal with China government. China government is very difficult to deal with. If you see recently what happened into the recent crackdown, okay, in China. So Raffles have the network. This is the moat. Okay, and they are very honest as well. You see, when they say that they break even in 3 years, right, they have, oh sorry, because of COVID, right, we might need about 4 years. which to me is fair enough, because what the initiative of why I invest in referrals is because I want to invest in a company that I can pass to my next generation. My daughter is just past 1 year, so there's 19 years to go, or maybe more. So this is a business that I want to invest in. So just like I mentioned about what happened in 2018, right? AGM, right? I know one of my friends is actually a shareholder for referrals. This is what I shared with him. This is what that I learned. I only know that in UI, right? Actually, the story very good. Cheap can go cheaper. High could go higher also, because that time, right, the price is actually about 1.4. Later I will show you the chart. Okay, I think it dropped about 1.2 or 1.3 something, right? But 1.4 I already saw it already. And right, I also share about the concert. The time is very old already, 76. But after that, I realized that it's maybe 76 is not too old, because Dr. Mahathir, for those who are not aware, Dr. Mahathir is a prime minister of Malaysia, right? When he became a prime minister for last time, right? He already had 95 years, so maybe Dr. Lu has more years to go. Okay, so this news, right? Actually, what happened on COVID-19. It is this one was actually taken out in June 2020 when they shared the half-yearly result. They're actually very heavily impacted. So who said hospital or healthcare, right, is actually resilient business when this kind of like COVID-19 black swan event come in? No, referrals also being impacted. They have a smaller load in Chongqing Hospital. That's why they say that instead of 3 years, they need 4 years. The revenue for the hospitals, right, is dropped by 14.5. Imagine your most profitable product, right, dropped 14.5%. How much money you are going to lose? They also have a high expenditure. But good thing you see, this is something that's why they don't give up about healthcare, about opening clinics. You can see more and more clinics, right, going to open in Singapore as well, and also in overseas, because when this kind of black swan effect, right, actually the healthcare business is actually the one that's supporting them. And in fact, this healthcare services is the one that Singapore MOH, right, actually targeted. They want actually, in fact, I read about another part of the quarterly, right, that shared this year, right. This is actually healthcare, right. Government MOH should actually ask them, please import your staff from your overseas, right. Come and help Singapore to fight COVID-19. This is truth. They actually imported a lot of their nurses and doctors and staff, right, come to Singapore, right, just to help to do swab tests. Sounds very cool, right? Yeah, but this is how it works. Because if you help government like this time, government will give you more business next future. This is a business relationship, which you can see right now. Changi Hospital, how to say, where I see it? PCR swab test, not only in global Singapore, but it's also in Changi Airport. They are also one of the biggest. 17, right? If I'm not wrong, it's about 1/3 of the vaccination center in Singapore. I think Singapore is about 50 plus, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Not only that, in China, they're also doing that. They are doing they're helping China government to do COVID-19 vaccination. And this time this is the reason why their share price shot up. I think it's about 10% one day. Later I'm going to show you the chart. Because they have a stronger revenue, 42%, and both healthcare hospitals grew up very fast. Okay, I'm going to touch. Okay, now it's the last part of my sharing, which is the chart. Just like I mentioned that 2018, right? Actually put it here. It's $1.11. Here is back then, right? I did not know about UI. I haven't learned about UI yet. However, right, I know fundamental. I'm a fundamental guy, so I learned. This is one of the earlier company that I invested, and until now I'm still investing. I have been invested since 2018. However, right, if I know UI last time, right, I will not enter in this. I will wait until maybe probably this mid 2019 or 2018 or even further. Like let the breakup happen. Maybe here happens first, then only enter. However, right, if you can see, right, actually going down all the way until this is the March. This is the COVID-19 what happened. It brought until 0.76, which I'm going to share later how much profit I get. Okay, so if I learn UI, probably I will enter here. I will enter also here, which is $1 close to. Okay, that's how UI work. If I'm however, I mean, I don't have time machine, I cannot go back again. But let's see what will my result right now. Actually, as this the first two is actually my result. Okay, at one point of time, which is March, actually have negative 29%. Do I feel panic and sell? No, obviously no, because I know it's worth more than that. However, did I go and add more? Again, it's no, because I already over invested. In fact, it's about 20% of my portfolio sizing. So no, I just wait. However, and things get better and better, right? When it shoot up at August 2021, right? It's actually I'm looking at one point, right? 42% again. Just now I mentioned right here is March 2020, right? Okay, if I invested about early of 2021, which is around here, okay, when the GC cross, right? So I will gain about 42%. I will gain about 70% if I did that. So that's why how powerful of a UI. Okay, so I think that's come into my last slide. But before I end, right, let's see if there's any more opportunity right now. Oh, by the way, for those who are interested in knowing this, right, this happened because it has a share split. Okay, that's why it dropped. So don't trust it. That's why it had been distorted very long time until recently. You can see here, right? Is there any opportunity? I would say yeah, probably. Okay, because what I'm expecting, right, when the hospital came out, right, the earnings will get maybe double or triple. But however, for UI, right, if I'm a new investor, probably I will wait until they drop until EMA 50 or even EMA 200. Is it buy or buy? Well, I will say just sit down and wait, because if I zoom in out, right, it's actually not yet stable. This chart, right, it remind me about AMD. Recently AMD, right? Let's look at AMD, right? See something similar? Oh yeah, $1. Yes, that is if I look at reference, right? Okay, he's like, but let's see whether his work. That's why I mentioned about 1 point GC, right? The golden cross. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, it's interesting. When I look back, I proven that UI way is really work for. See, this is when the GC cross. So if you bought it here, right, just break 0.88. You are sitting at about 70% of gain right now. Even though, okay, let us wait for pull down a bit, right? Come here. Yes, this is something that 0.85. If Dr. Lu bought at about 8, right, February, right, you see, you actually should most likely, right, you will bought slightly about lower than him, because, right, the last GC for EMA 50 and 200 actually is at about $1. You are about 2% cheap, bought cheaper than Dr. Lu. So sounds good. So that's how UI work. I end my presentation. I think a bit sorry about overshot. Any questions?
Right, thank you so much, Jackson. Right, so if you have learned something from Jackson presentation, can we just type in 555? Okay, type in 555 if you have learned something so far. And maybe, yeah, don't worry about it, Jackson. Okay, I think today, yeah, I actually learned a lot from your presentation, and maybe we will go with the question first. So anyone have any question for Jackson with regards to this Breakfast Medical Group? Okay, do post it inside the chat so that we can actually, I can actually address and let Jackson address the question. Right, great. You can see, wow, a lot of people are learning so far. Fantastic. Well, Damien, CCC is clap. Right, anyone have any question? Okay, if you have any questions, okay, you can actually post it for Jackson. Yeah, maybe in the meantime, okay, while we are waiting for the question, I think very interesting for Jackson to actually share with us about the insights for Breakfast Medical Group. And maybe I can just share a little bit about my personal view about the Singapore market. One of the things why I don't really look at Singapore market is because I realize that Singapore market, they are very localized. So a lot of the companies, if they're not able to grow overseas, then pretty much we have a lot of matured company in Singapore. That means in Singapore, they are already super huge. So it's almost very difficult for them to continue to grow maybe like 10-20%, right? Unless they go overseas. So for example, for Raffles Medical Group, they have already been doing pretty consistently in the Singapore. Like I said, like you mentioned, 1 year break even. So for them, it's like this business is super profitable for them. So if now they are actually moving to China, which we also know China, it is very, very huge. It's a huge market. And I think one thing that you mentioned about the moat, right? And I do agree, is that Singapore is actually one of the, I would say, medical hub. So we do have a certain branding when it comes to medical treatment, especially in China. We do understand that, China people can afford to pay lah. But when it comes to medical treatment, we still have a lot of China people coming to Singapore for medical treatment, and even Indonesia. But right now, with the China, with the Singapore branding, Raffles Medical, it could actually be very, very powerful over there. What do you think about this area?
Yes. Okay. Actually, I do agree. The reason China people last time actually they do fly into Singapore. Okay, not only China, Indonesia, everywhere in Asia, right? They fly to Singapore, especially when they have difficulty to go to USA. Like for example, because USA sanction or etc. Right, they will come to Singapore because Singapore have all the expertise and specialists in here. However, right, moving forward, right, I will, especially this COVID, right, is really proven localized services is a must. Imagine, right, if you're COVID, right, and you need a heart surgery surgeon, right, that only sit in Singapore, right, how to make a surgery? You can't die on your bed, so you must find somewhere, right. This is what Raffles. In fact, right, Raffles, right, they not only provided a hospital, but also provided some of their specialists, right. They can do a remote, remote consultant, remote surgery for the local. They in fact, they send out the top specialists, right, or surgeons, right, to China, train their local. That's a treatment. And just now, Oswin mentioned, any possible risk of China regulatories? Yes, always. Because in China, right, regulatory is always there. However, that's what makes Raffles different from the rest. For the 2 hospitals that they built, right, Shanghai, they actually own 70%. The rest 30% owned by who? Local government. Sounds cool, right? They actually, in the AGM, actually, they did ask, why not 50-50? Dr. Lu said at the beginning they don't want. They don't want the 50-50 because they don't have a control of the quality of the business and also the training. They want to have the control. So after that, they struck a deal of 70%. In fact, almost a similar thing happened on Chongqing. So for me, yes, there's always a possible of regulatory risk, but for Raffles, the chance will be lower because they are working. They are willing to work. They don't like USA company that have so many regulations and things like that. They are willing to work with company. They don't have a so-called, not really a bottom line. And even government itself in Singapore here, right? They do agree. They do support that. If you watch a recent Shanghai hospital opening, right? If I'm not wrong, it's Dr. Heng Swee Keat fly all the way to Shanghai to do opening ceremony. Do see that there's how close relationship between Singapore and China. And last one, just now I mentioned about they are flying. Moving forward, I doubt the China people were willing to fly around. They are more willing to spend in China because why? China clamped down. They don't want their own people, right, spend money overseas. You can see what happened on the travel. They are clamped down all the remittance overseas. Imagine you want to fly to overseas, right, to do treatment, but you have to send all the money overseas, right? Will China government like it? I obviously might not. If you have a better option, do it in local, and after your treatment, you can rest at home, right? Who don't want that? Who want to fly all the way and then risk yourself to stay there maybe 180 days just for recovery? Why not just do it in China? That's my view.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much, Jackson, for sharing. Right. So yeah, if you have any questions, okay, continue to leave it coming. Maybe towards the end of this market watch, we can also still get Jackson to answer the question. So maybe in the meantime, let me just bring back up my slides so that I can actually share the market updates for this coming week. Okay, then later on we will still have the Q&A in a moment's time. Right. Yes, so like I said, thank you so much, Jackson, for sharing with us Raffles Medical Group. I think with this company and his sharing, it does actually makes me feel a little bit interested to look into some of the Singapore stocks that are exploring the overseas market. And again, as long as Singapore stocks are able to go beyond Singapore and go overseas, actually, I would say that the growth is the same as US market. All right. So coming to our short-term market direction, okay, before I go to that, how many of you here are excited to know how the market will react next week? If you're excited about it, can you just type in 111 Right, so as usual, we will go through our S&P 500 first, okay? And congratulations to those who have bought into the stock market over the last, I don't know, weeks, months, okay? The market continued to hit on all-time high, okay? Yeah, so for all the people who say that the market is going to crash, you know, like 1 month ago, 2 months ago, sorry lah, it haven't happened yet, okay? But you can join my group. My group is, I think it will crash, but not so soon, okay? For those of you who wants to know when the market is going to crash, okay, you have to watch my previous video, okay? My previous market watch, I share with you the exact date, okay, the market is going to crash, okay? So make sure that you can watch that video. But anyway, like I said, congrats to all those who have invested. Market continues to climb. As also mentioned previously, I mentioned that the market actually is pretty predictable over the last couple of months, okay? Whenever there's a huge drop, like I said, following the drop, the market is going to chong to all-time high one. it happened again and again and again and again, okay? No surprises, okay, which is good. I don't like surprise. But the Dow Jones is a little bit harder to catch, okay? So in a way, it did recover, but it is still climbing. But again, it's not all-time high. So, you know, so the larger company not doing that well as compared to the rest of the companies. But we have good news coming from the Nasdaq 100, which I know a lot of you are vested into the tech company. So congrats, okay, to those who are invested into the tech company. The market achieved all-time high once again. Wow. Let me share. Damien, what do you want to share? Maybe you can just type it in the chat. Okay, yeah. So let's look at the opportunities. Like I said, if you ask me about the market outlook, right, it has not changed. Okay, short-term outlook, I still believe that the market is going to be bullish. In the midterm, I do foresee that the market is going to crash big time. Okay, so make sure that you are well prepared before the crash happens. Right. So what are some of the opportunities? Like I said, right now I focus like a 70% into short term and 30% into long term. So again, like I said, most of the trade that I'm actually sharing right now is actually more on more on the short term side. Yes, thank you so much, Damien. Please do share my crash date to all of them. Okay. Yeah, so the first one that I'm going to share with you is actually Roku. So for Roku, actually this is something that's a bit special. So this is actually bouncing off the very strong support line, which is from the EMA 200 line. So again, I do foresee that, you know, especially why I choose Roku. One of the reasons is also because Roku, I think the last few quarters, they have actually done extremely well in terms of the earnings, and this company has actually turned profitable. So for me, I love to invest in companies that are profitable. So if the company is growing, but no profit, and no signs of turning profitable, to be honest, I don't really love those kind of company. And for Roku, they have actually proved that, you know, wow, I am profitable right now. So more good things is coming moving forward. Yeah, so one of the reason I like, and of course the chart is also fantastic. So this is Roku. Okay, again, this is bullish. For those of you who are wondering, so should I short or should I long it? This is a bullish signal. Buy. Okay, so buy. The next company that I want to share is this company called Splunk. All right, Splunk. So yeah, actually this is actually shared by one of our students as well. Right, so I think Splunk, they are definitely in the right industry, and this is really a growing industry. And of course, this is also a software as a service, SaaS company. All right, so they have actually taken quite a fair hit over the last couple of not couple of months, in fact, almost a year, ever since, you know, all the tech company went to the moon. So we have seen the huge drop from $200 over to about 110, almost like a 50% drop. And right now, it has seemed to be climbing back up. And like what Jackson also mentioned, one of the things that we look at is actually when the stock goes above the EMA 200 line, that is actually a good entry opportunity. So same thing for Splunk. To me, this is a buy. Okay, but again, remember, to me, this is more of a short-term trade. So I do not do this for a 6 month, 1 year. You know, for me, this is a short-term, you know. So short-term can be as short as a few days, like TSM. one day make money. No. Yeah, 2 days lah. 2 days make money. Monday buy, Tuesday make money. Okay, yeah. For some of you, I know you already took profit lah. Yeah, which is great. So when I say short term, okay, I'm looking at maybe about a month or less than a month. All right, that's the kind of time frame that I'm actually looking at. All right, so this is for Splunk. And the next company that I have, which I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar, is Netflix. Okay, Netflix. So I know a lot of you are at home and then watching, subscribe to Netflix and watch Netflix movie. And a lot of people will actually say that, you know, Disney Plus is actually a key competitor. But also, for those of you who have subscribed to both Netflix and Disney Plus, I think ultimately the overall winner, okay, I would say at the current moment is still Netflix in terms of the variation and the variety of the shows that they actually have on the platform. I think Disney Plus is still lacking in terms of the content portion. So with that, I'll say Netflix is still really, really strong. And it has been consolidating for a relatively long time. Okay, as you can see, July to July, that's like a 1 year of consolidation. So if you have been buying within this trend, okay, then wow, you can make a lot of money. Every time hit the bottom, go and buy. Every time hit the top, go and sell. I think you make easily a few 1,000% just from this 1 year. All right, but right now, what I'm looking at is that as you can see, it is now at the resistance, and it has actually shown signs of breaking above the resistance. Okay, breaking above the resistance. So we do have seen previous cases of, you know, Netflix going above this kind of sharp spike. So for me, it's very simple. I will actually monitor for a couple of days. So if let's say Netflix continue to go upwards, I do foresee that this could be the next huge run up for Netflix. So again, this is more of a short-term position that I'll be monitoring. Okay, again, I will not enter yet. Okay, for Netflix, I will not enter yet, but I will actually definitely monitor it over the next few days. All right, so I want to look for more upside, more bullish signal first before I will enter. So this is actually for Netflix. Yes, thanks, Jackson. Okay, Netflix have got a lot of good dramas recently. I agree. Okay, like the Korean zombie dramas. What's that? Yeah, later can send me the link. I can watch. Okay, this is for Netflix. Yeah. So basically today, 3 companies. Okay, for those of you who still remember the 3 companies that I shared with you today, can you just put it inside the comments so that the rest of the people can also benefit from it? Right. Yep. So coming back to our Q&A, so I'm going to bring back our special guest. So if you have any questions for me or if you have any questions for Jackson, now is the time for you to actually, let us know so that we can answer your question. Oh yes, Kingdom. Thank you so much, Rachel. Yeah. So I heard of it. I haven't watched yet. Okay, Daniel also say Kingdom. Later I go watch. Roku, Splunk, and Netflix. Thank you so much, Ivan. Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing with the rest of us. Right, and Albert as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, now is the time for you to post. I'm going to invite Jackson back and I'm going to let y'all see our face. Yes, so anyone have any question? If you have question, then you can actually post it to us. Yeah, basically if you want to look at chart, you can also ask Jackson. Whatever I share, Jackson also know one. So yeah, like what Jackson share, whatever we shared is all taught in UI. So if you want to know, if you want to join UI, you want to learn what we have been teaching, it's all in the link at the bottom. So it has been, help us to also share this with your friend, get them to join our Telegram. It's free, don't need to pay money. Okay, question from Eileen. Google will be removing its Google Play movie and TV app from Roku streaming devices. Will affect Roku? Very good question. I don't know. honest feedback. I haven't go in depth into Roku in terms of the things that they do. Yeah, I only look at the numbers so I don't have the answer for you for Eileen. Jackson, do you know? Do you know this?
I can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know about this also, but if because I'm a Google shareholder. This is one of the another best return for this year. I have 65% again. Okay, I don't think I was a bit surprised from it because Google have their YouTube. If you realize that YouTube recently have do some revamp on their interface, right? Which I recently so in most likely they will put it back into YouTube instead of Roku. So it become like their own business rather than let Roku win it, right? Like what Disney Plus have doing for the Netflix in the past. So I don't see it will affect Roku because Roku will like Netflix, it will innovate and it will turn bad. And I think it's a good chance to let Roku let's see how Roku work out.
Great.
I hope
Thanks for the feedback lah. And maybe I'll just add on a little bit lah. I mean, for me, to be honest, I don't know what Google Play Movie has lah. so I don't think they are really that strong. Yeah, I don't think Google is focusing on the movies lah.
I think Google Play Movie is something like you can go to their apps and buy the movie and then play for a while. Am I right to say?
I don't know.
Just like purchase one time of purchase and then you go and watch. This is what I see. Yeah.
So next question. Yeah, Eugene say Moderna going high. I just look at the chart lah. Let me just bring up the chart. This is the chart. Okay, yeah, Moderna going high. Yeah lah, true lah, because of all the vaccination that's going on. But I would say maybe for Jackson, what do you think? Do you think there's an entry for Moderna? Hold on, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm muted. I will not go to anything about pharma. The last one, pharmaceutical company I have, right, is Nova Nordisk. So it's for me, it's buy. Yeah. I will not touch pharmaceutical because it's too difficult to predict. Unless you are like my friend, she is in a pharmaceutical company. Then she have a lot of friends like telling her right to buy Moderna. When I think it was how much is that? Before 100, I think. Is it? Yeah. So unless you are in the industry, otherwise I will ask you avoid because you have no idea.
Yeah,
it's about $100.
Yeah, based on technical, there's also no entry for us lah. So this kind of stuff, like
even I have entry, I will also not enter because anytime, right, any news come hit, right, it will drop like 80 to 50%, right? Then all your profit gone. So not worth, I will say.
Yeah, I can look at the chart. It's like a rocket, right, going to the moon and now coming back to Earth lah. So yeah. Any other question? Wow, today no question. I think they a bit tired. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
because of me.
Two more questions. Any question? Today we have our special guest. So if you want Singapore stock, you can also ask Jackson for Singapore stock.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, don't ask me Singapore stock. I'll just tell you don't buy. That's the answer that I have. Anyone have any question for us?
Singapore stock, don't buy those Kimley those kitchenery stock, selling food stock. SGX and iFast. Well, I will say SGX. I will not touch it. Yeah, last time, the last person, I have seen some value investor tell me, oh, SGX, wow, 7% yield. Yeah, just go and buy it. And then you see what happened on their recent share price. It dropped again. Yes, SGX, they don't have a moat. They have so much competition, right, around this market. Nikkei, Hong Kong Stock Exchange, especially Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you will getting more and more aggressive and also higher competition. I mean, better moat than SGX. SGX don't have any moat to me. iFast, yes, but iFast already being overvalued. If I'm not wrong, iFast, I think the P ratio is about 1,000 or 100. Anyone want to buy 100 PE ratio? QNM, okay, Glove stock. You mean Top Glove? Let me see. Let me touch on one by one about the iFast first. Because I did check some of the ratio of iFast recently. Let me see. The valuations for iFast. Okay, for Glove stock. Yep. I do invested in one of the Glove stock, but it's in Singapore, in Malaysia, Harta Lega. I like Glove stock because this one I trust it will excel very fast. Oh, P ratio. Yeah, you see P ratio right now for iFast 84%, 84. Anything above 50, right, I will not touch out because it's too ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, goodbye for iFast. What else? Growth stock, yes, I'm looking at it. In fact, now might be a good chance. I'm just waiting for some bottom up. Yeah, Malaysia, especially in Malaysia stock. I will not buy it in Singapore because I think Singapore will not have top growth and one of Riverstone. But Riverstone, these two companies, I think Riverstone recently they trying to change themselves, right, from growth manufacturer to PPE manufacturer. So there's something that changed. So watch out if you are holding it. Any entry requirements, price range of Raffles Medical. Let me see again. Because now I trust a lot very on chart. It really proven it work. If you ask me, the last one I might look at maybe one, if based on TA, right, $1.31, something I might nibble a bit. EMA 50. Yeah, might be nibble a bit. The best will be below $1.20. I will see that there should be a strong support in $1.25. Yeah. I first Q&M. Well, recently their business is quite good. I don't know why they had came into some COVID swab tests. They okay. How QMM actually grow, right? They actually acquire people, dentals, clinics, right, and then it keep on growing. So to me, it's not organic growth. They do not have a moat. Any company that not even have a single one moat, right? They can convince me, right? I will just avoid because it does long term wise, right? It will slow down, and then it will just their revenue or their advantage will just gone. Nano Film recently just IPO. I will not touch any recent IPO stock. It proven me I'm right. Because now one of my friends asked me when the IPO, I will say I will not touch any recent IPO because they don't have any good track record. Don't trust about the market. The market also can be wrong. iFast. How about Keppel DC? Okay, Keppel DC REITs. Well, if you're looking for REITs, right, I believe you are looking also for dividend yield. For me, Keppel DC REIT, the yield is not good. Anything less than 5 or 6%, right, I will just get I will just don't touch because for REITs, right, purely dividend REIT, right, if you didn't get any 5% or 6% yield, right, when they do a right issue, you will lose. Okay, and even the right issue, right, I will choose whether I want to participate or not participate, depend on the price. Okay, so DC REITs, I remember the yield is about 4.4. Yes, no, CPF can do better. Well, if you invest into S&P 500, it will do better. Trust me. Yeah. So Mapletree. Well, Mapletree, yes, I have heard of it also, but honestly speaking, like I'm also like Bowen. I not only dividend yield, anything less than 6 or 7%, right? I better invest in USA stock market, unless there's a very good growth stock in Singapore. Yeah, which Bowen has said last time. I feel. Thai beverage is too big already. Their revenue is up and down. They don't have a moat. In fact, their beer beverage, right? How much will it bring more beer when this kind of crisis or even a good time? Hardly, right? They even have a bigger competitor in this region, Sapporo. Is it called Sapporo? Sapporo beer? Yeah. Sapporo breweries. Yes, let me see. Yes, Sapporo breweries. This is the one of the biggest competitor in this market. So I will not touch also. Thai. Wilmar, yes, Wilmar, it sounds good, very good, because they have some good business in China, and also they have some. I heard there are some spin-off for their China, Wilmar China, something that I will observe. But however, right, again, right, I don't see a very good growth on this on Wilmar as well. So again, I do not do much research, and plus Wilmar is in the commodity, so to me it's Capital Land. Property company, right? Actually, right, their return is very poor. If you see, right, even you buy into unless you buy into very good in the crisis mode, which I have one Hong Kong lamp. The price that I bought, right, is with 6% dividend yield per year. How many don't like 6% yield one? And I do nothing. But CapitaLand, right, I can see, right, the yield is not good as well. But they might be changing because they are changing. They are selling off their REIT stuff right outright. Maybe there are some changes, but let us observe. Baba, Bowen, you want to comment? Let me rest a while.
This one, I think I talked many episode already. So Baba, there's always the regulatory risk lah. So if you haven't go in, you want to go in lah. Buy and hold ah. If you're already holding and bleeding, then don't buy anymore lah. Don't average down lah. That's the only thing I can. Yes, it's undervalued, but I've seen the YouTubers saying that, wow, I leverage to buy because now the price is like, yeah, then I say good luck lah. Good luck to them lah. Yeah. So yeah lor, that's always my thing lah. If you haven't buy, you want to buy, put some money there lor. If you don't buy, you feel itchy ma. Then just buy lah. Yeah, I think it's definitely undervalued lah. But the regulatory risk is something that I can never predict lah. If I can predict then Jack Ma and Zhao Wei won't go missing already. They also cannot predict the government will catch them when they are too weak. You know, so unless I got an island, I can now go there and hide and nobody can catch me. Yeah, if not, regulatory risk, especially in China, is something that nobody knows lah.
Last time I still trust in Baba lah, but after I recall again, for delays in a few days which one? Which one will delays in a few days? Not Baba, right? Okay. For me, Baba, I think they're losing their mode already. Okay, because I have a relative from China. When I told, hey, are you going to buy more stuff from Alibaba? She told me, oh no, why Alibaba? Why Taobao? JD.com is better, cheaper and better, which in fact is happening right now. So before you buy into the story of Baba, right? Take a look what happened right now. The mood might be eroded. The same apply to any of my stock that I see, right? Or I invested. If I see the mood eroded, right, I will just let go. It's fine. Because when the mode gone, right, sooner or later the price will crash one. Which platform I buy for SG and Hong Kong stock? For Singapore stock, I use DBS. Okay, the reason why I use DBS, right, instead others, because I want to hold it in my CDB account that I'm the shareholder, that I can attend to the AGM meeting. People, they will say, oh, I will go Standard Charter. I say, no, I will still want myself as a shareholder and I attend the meeting and listen what the chairman, because these are the things that you listen straight from the one that doing the help manage the business day to day, right? You will have a feel different. I attended Singtel, I attended Raffles, Centurion, First REIT. If you for those remember who's for First REIT, right? First REIT was sweetheart last time in REITs market. But I let go it right at about $1. Before $1, I think 120. I think before it crashed all the way. Now, if you look at their price, it's horrible. But I let go it because when I listen to the CEO, right, I know something wrong already. That did not appear on the book one. So Hong Kong stock, I will say Standard Chart is not bad. Oh, and one, iFast, I think Fund Supermart is cheaper also. It's cheap. But however, right, do know that they are different. Standard Chart and Fund Supermart, they are using custodian, which means that indirectly you are not the shareholders of the company. You will not be seen there. It's very different if you buy stock from Think or Swim or buy stock from the local brokerage. So you have to be aware why you want to buy a stock and if you want to attend the annual general meeting, and do note about the extra charges. Very, very important, because even Think or Swim, right, I was being charged about $15 just buy some OTC stock, which I think is critical. But thank God I gained back.
Okay, I got a very important question for Jackson because Jackson, you mentioned that you attend a lot of AGM especially the live one, the physical office one. Which one do you think has got the best buffet
Oh no! Oh, they don't have buffet so far. They get, but because by the time I started attending the AGM, right? They will tell us, oh, they want to go environmental friendly. Okay, nonsense. They want to go environment friendly. They want to spend more money, right? Then they just cut off all the buffet. The last one I have, right, they even don't serve me drinks. That was like, oh, Raffles is the best thing. You know how they do, right? They replace the buffet with a $10 voucher to go ask me go down there and go and buy my lunch. In fact, I did. Yeah, but this is a good way because from my perspective, if the management decided to do this and give us a damn good reason, right? I think this is a good management because they know what the money should spend at. I would love, especially in Singapore stock, and Hong Kong stock. There are a lot of companies actually. They are founders, custom business. This founder custom business, right? You should prioritize because they know the business. Like for example, Tesla. Elon Musk still the founder and still the one that holding business. I think there will be more opportunity rather than the other company that's not running by the founder. So this is something that I feel the strongest. So for Raffles Medical, if the next generation take over, right? Well, I might just take profit a bit and just go first. But so far I haven't seen Dr. Lu, he want to resign or he want to step down. He's still training his one. Shopping IPO on US, yeah. Let's see how. So avoid China stock at the moment. Where is it? Okay, avoid China stock at the moment. Well, I still have some China stock. I don't think they will delist the OTC. It's not so soon. Okay, they might still there, but those recent IPO one, I would say, well, just manage it with your position sizing. What do you think, Bowen?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of other companies to look at. So for now, wait for the things to settle down because we are in the middle of the political, I don't know what they are doing. So we don't want to guess. It's like today you make money from Alibaba. Wow, then you're very happy. Then suddenly next day they come up with a news, then suddenly your profit turn into losses. So we don't want to put ourselves into that kind of shoe. We want something predictable. Just like the stock market right now, very predictable. Then you can sleep well and make money. Last question, okay, coming from Carol. What about ICBC, CCB? Don't go vulgar language, okay? And BOC.
No. CCB is BOC. I know Bank of China.
China.
These three I think is three top banks in China. Okay. I did not study a lot in China banks. However, right, do you realize that China banks actually felt being threatened by new upcoming financial payment services like Ant Financial and those new like digital banking? They are actually in a very traditional business. If you see what happened in Singapore, right, it will duplicate the same in China. The difference could be, right, how fast their local banks change themselves. I will continue to observe. I don't think they will phase out very soon, but they will have a very fierce competition sooner or later, especially when China open their capital market further. Because in order for them to do this and move back to Hong Kong, right, they will have to further open their China market. This is something that they cannot avoid. How about you, Bowen? Do you know about these banks?
I think I've taken a look at all these banks before because they are super undervalued. So based on the value investing approach, is like super good. But if you look at the chart, let me just show you the chart.
I haven't seen the chart yet also.
Yeah, since like 10 years ago, it has been going sideways. So
no go.
Yeah, you look at it, you're also like, not interested anymore. Yeah, so
go USA Bank USA Bank give me a lot of profit. Come on, JP Morgan, Bank of China, Bank of America. Trust Warren Buffett, okay?
Yeah, that's my take. And really, when I look at the China bank, right, actually very interesting is that the chairman of the bank, right, is like the premier of the country. So like the leader, right, they have a huge stake in the bank one. So literally, the government is controlling the bank. So I mean, if you are the government, do you really care whether the share price go up or not? You don't really care because you don't make my money from there. You make money from I don't know from where
loan interest.
Yeah. So
give more loan, give more interest.
The bank is being controlled by them. The bank is not there to make the investor happy and make profit, but rather the bank is there because the country needs the bank to operate. So that's how the China is operating. That's why, if you look at the share price, It's just ding dong, up down like that. So yeah. Like what Rachel's saying, the current Chinese government is still very communistic and don't think that will change soon. And that is the greatest risk to me. Yeah, I totally agree with this. Yeah. Okay, I think we answered quite a lot of questions. Okay, and of course, before we end, I just want to say thank you to Jackson for joining us for this particular market watch. I think this is one of the most relaxed market watch that I did. So yeah, I look forward to have more special guests on our market watch. So if you have anything interesting you want to share, please PM me. I will be happy to feature you in our next and upcoming market watch. So again, everybody hear me every week also sian, right? So make sure that we have more variety, different topic. I think, while you are sharing, I also learn as well. So that is fantastic. Can we before we end off, can everybody just type in thank you, Jackson? Just put TYJ, okay, in the chat before we actually end off this session. Right? Type in TY.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and share. Okay, now still can share. So yes, thank you so much, Jackson. Okay, you can see, wow, a lot of TYJ coming. Okay, wow, a lot more coming. Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining us for our market watch today. So again, very happy to be sharing with all of you. And most importantly, what we want is everybody to be more educated when it comes to investing and to be able to profit from the stock market as well. So like I said, okay, in the midterm, I do foresee that the market is going to crash on which particular date. Y'all can watch my previous video. Okay. yeah. But anyway, do take note. Don't wait until the crash comes and then you say, Bowen, can you teach me? Where can we prevent this from happening? A bit too late. Okay. Yeah. So like insurance, I used to be a financial advisor. So we always say this sentence. What do I always say? I always say what? Nobody, what? Okay, I forget already. Yeah, maybe I should.
Everyone
Nobody plan to
insurance.
fail, but many fail to plan. Nobody plan to fail, but many fail to plan. Wow, see, this is the golden statement. So this is the statement for everybody. Okay, nobody plan to fail, but many fail to plan. So, plan for the crash ahead and, try to see how you can make money from the crash. Then you'll be happy. You'll be a happy man. All right, with that, thanks everyone for joining me. And once again, next Sunday, we will still have our market watch at 9 p.m. All right, till then, thanks everyone. Most importantly, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the Telegram. Bye-bye. Thanks, Jackson.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.